Oh, I know, right? Can you believe it? We're going to be in the 60s again today. Mid-November. And I hear my neighbor out mowing and raking up leaves this weekend. I don't know why. I mean, we had gale force winds. I mean, a windstorm came just the other day. Boom, blew the house that I lived in away. We're having so much trouble. So much trouble, I'm about to lose my mind. Trouble. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I don't get why, raking when you got 60, and they were this weekend, they were humming. I think the trees are going to break all the time and everything like that. But then it was, like I said, 55, 56, 60 mile an hour winds, and you're out raking? How does that even... What do? I get out my high-powered electric leaf blower or the gas one. I blow everything towards the street. When it gets like that, I go get it straight. It's the neighbor's problem now. No, the leaves out where I live, they literally blow down the street. Completely down. So I blow them down into the street. They go down the street, and they end up on the northwest bypass somewhere. Leaves everywhere, people driving around, driving down the street, leaves are coming in. Isn't that like the Mayhem commercial from Allstate? Save money and be protected from mayhem, like me. Isn't that Dean Winters that does the Mayhem commercials? Isn't that the... Wasn't he on Oz and Law and Order and a couple other... Yeah, Dean Winters, yeah. He's a good mayhem. What a good commercials. That's always... Yeah, that's what I do. So I blow all the leaves in the street, they go down to the northwest bypass, and mayhem. All right, Andy, before we get any further, this morning, remember to hit that like button down there. Give us the old thumbs up so I know I'm doing a good job. Good job. And if you haven't already, you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified of any and all new content, and you'll have a chance to win some fabulous prizes and participate in our Monday morning polls. Do we have a question up this morning? We do. Will grocery prices affect your Thanksgiving this year? What are we, a week and a half away, week away, 2 weeks away? Yeah. So yes or no? Go ahead, post, tell me what. Yep, it's going to affect the prices or not. I do know, no matter what I'm being told, okay, that grocery prices are a little higher this year. Yeah, I've learned to ignore certain sources when they start telling me what's going on and, how things are looking. I let my wallet and checkbook and credit cards or whatever tell me how it's going. So, where's my prop this morning? This morning's podcast is brought to you in part each and every Monday morning by our good friends down at the Great Falls Gazette. Local stories of local interest reported by local members of our community. What could be better than that? I mean, available every Tuesday, Thursday, and this is yesterday's deluxe edition. Pick up your copy today What do we got on the cover this morning? Yesterday's. We got the fire rescue. We got some donations by Calnut. All right. And I didn't make it on the cover, I see. But if I ever do, Andy, what am I going to do? I'm going to buy 5 copies for my mother. Hey, going to see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah, the cover right here, our good friends, and we thank you for your continued support. We pushed the boundaries a little bit. That's right, I'll probably end up on here on the back cover, America's Most Wanted Crimestoppers. Weren't we talking about Dean Withers? Dean Winters just a minute ago, and he was on Special Law and Order. Yeah, Special Victims Unit. Wanted by the Special Victims Unit for a morally bankrupt podcast. All right, who do we got on the back here? Well, we got some people. Keep an eye out for these people on the top here, these two. Julianne and Stephanie are wanted. The rest are arrested. All right. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And keep your eye on the sparrow. All right. A little carried away this morning. What's in this coffee this morning? What is it? All right. Thanks, Great Falls Gazette. Pick up a copy today, everybody. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, November 17th on a partly cloudy Monday morning. Like I said, it's supposed to be in the 60s today. Again. So dress appropriate for the 60s. Yeah, bell bottoms, wide lapels, some beads, get the hair thing going, mustaches. Drums keep pounding a rhythm through the brain. La-di-da-di-dee, la-di-da-di-da. 60s, mid-November. I got a feeling we're going to pay for this later on down the road, you know? I was told you I had a neighbor mowing, but geez, I was in the shop watching the college had a garage shop, whatever. We kind of had the dog out, you know, sunshine, windy, but in the garage it wasn't so bad. Warm, yeah, it was warm in there watching college football. Michigan, watching the Michigan Wolverines game. Michigan turned the ball over 5 times this week. 5 times. They missed 2 field goals, and they still beat Northwestern. So what does that tell you about Northwestern? Man, no doubt, man. Turn the ball, oh, they look terrible. Every time I turned around, I was throwing something at the TV. Well, in the general direction. The big story, was the Texas. Did you watch it's been all over YouTube. It's been all over Facebook. It was all over the sports channels. State trooper in Texas, he literally shoulder checked Nyck Harbor, the South Carolina Gamecocks. The incident occurred in the late second, before halftime, late second quarter of the Texas A&M South Carolina Gamecocks game. And what happened was, and they were getting beat. Oh, yeah, Texas A&M, before it was 2 different games, but Texas receiver, Harbor caught an 80-yard pass, right? Touchdown pass, ran up through the end zone, ran briefly, exited through the tunnel. He's like grabbing his right leg. The other Carolina receiver was it Oscar Adway? Okay, Oscar Adway, all right, he followed Harbor up the tunnel, and as the two players were returning to the field, like this state trooper, like literally, he's like shoulder checking them. Yeah, and then he turns around, and he's like pointing at them and getting all mad at them, and it's like, dude, Yeah. It's like, what the heck is going on here? You're on national TV running in the players, So he's suspended, so wow. What do we got here? November 17th. Yeah, crazy. So, yeah, I got you. Roll. Let's keep rolling. All right. November 17th. Any famous birthdays? Are they up there? They are. Who do we got? Danny DeVito. A heavenly Gordon Lightfoot. Didn't we talk about him last week when we did the Edmund Fitzgerald? Yeah. We didn't get to sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning, but I'm losing again. Bam, what a good song that was. Yeah, Sundown? Oh, yeah. And Rachel McAdams, who turns 47 today. What a cutie she is, huh? I watched Mean Girls, I watched The Notebook, I watched Wedding Crashers, just so I could see Rachel McAdams running around barefoot, which she did in all three shows. So, yeah, what a bonus there. So, happy birthday to Danny and Rachel. And no November 17th would be complete. Andy, it would not really be complete, would it? We've talked about this earlier. If we didn't mention that on this very day, in November 17th, 1973, well, I was a sophomore in high school, Richard Nixon, then President Richard Nixon, he let the American people know when he uttered them now famous words, I am not a crook. Okay, buddy. Alrighty then. Watergate looks like a walk in the park compared to what's going on, nowadays, Donald Trump in the news, emails in the news. But that's a different show, a different time. Right. For now, I am not a crook. Bullshit. All right. Andy, what's up with all the Christmas decorations I'm seeing? I mean, for crying out loud. When I was a kid, Thanksgiving was the time that you all gathered around, and that's when you put up all the Christmas decorations. Okay? But I mean, now it's like people are putting up for Christmas stuff like when? You're like right after the 4th of July? I mean, come on. I mean, it's getting earlier and earlier and earlier and bigger and more grand over the it's over the years it's gotten huge. I mean it's never too early if you're a psychopath, but seriously, Christmas, we're literally on sale this year along with back to school stuff in August. I know, right? We commented about that in August. That why is there Christmas stuff up when it's back to August? And not only it's earlier and earlier every year and more grandiose every year, but now what's it with the big, bigger? Okay, it started, yeah, we were talking about this a few weeks ago. It started with like big skeletons and big monsters and stuff on Halloween. First it had life size, skeletons. Ooh, scary. Now it's like, 15-foot skeletons, it's like 20-foot, there's skeletons. Just, what the heck is that all about? I mean, it's gotten completely out of control. Christmas is now we got 25-foot Santa Clauses and candy canes that are like 100 feet tall and Grinches that are 50 foot tall, I mean, on my very street. Sorry, but it's just like, what the heck, Andy? I'm sorry, it's just, what the heck? I mean, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? Why? The neighbors the neighbors buy a 20-foot little drummer boy for Christmas. We got to get a 28-foot Santa, and the next neighbors are we got to get a 40. Pretty much you got just giant stuff all over it's like everywhere. Okay? And now, like this weekend, people already had their Christmas stuff up, the 50-foot drummer boys and, 80-foot Santas, are up, they've got big spikes and hold them into the ground, stuff. Now along comes the 60-mile-an-hour Chinook winds in Great Falls, blowing your Santa down the street. Man, I see a Santa or a Grinch or whatever come out blowing down the street. It's like, bam, blew out the neighbor's mailbox. I mean, it's like, don't get in the way. Don't go out and check your mail or something. You're out checking the mail all of a sudden. Little drummer boy, drumming in the God of the Vita, coming down the street, in the God of the Vita, honey. Boom, takes you out. I mean, it's just terrible. Why? When did bigger decorations, like I said, become better? I mean, it's like it's just a contest in the neighborhoods now. You got, they got the big lights that they put down on the sidewalks. Well, let's put little lights down in the sidewalk. Neighbors there, let's put bigger lights. And then, a couple blocks down, the lights are like, let's put lights. You can't even drive by there. It's like blinding you and stuff. I mean, that stuff's got to be expensive. I mean, the 120-foot Grinch. I mean, geez, it's got to be. Let's take out a house loan and a loan to get the Grinch. You're a sly one. No doubt, man. Basically, like I said, you're just taking a loan out to get Christmas decorations because it's gotten out of control. It's like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's just like crazy. It's insane. Sorry, man, I was getting wound up. I know. All right. Now, we're going to talk about this last week, but the Edmund Fitzgerald happened last week, so we're like 1 week late on this one. But, on November 6th, 2001, a customer was parking at the Hair Gallery, and that was a beauty salon. It's located just off Highway 93, located in Florence, Montana. Yeah, Florence, Montana. Again, a customer that was parking at the salon noticed a strange man in a trench coat and a top hat. Maybe a hat like I'm wearing. I don't know, kind of a weird kind of hat. Yeah, thank you for the weird kind of hat comment. I don't care. Coming out of the salon, and this guy was using the front door. Now, that's worth mentioning because the salon very rarely used the front door. The traffic, the traffic, all the hecticness of the 93, they used the side back door. Right. Okay. That's just the way it is. That's what they did. So, anyways, 62-year-old Dorothy Harris, she owned the salon, along with Brenda Hatch. She's 44. She was the salon's manicurist and all that. And then there was a 71-year-old lady, Cynthia Paulus. She was just a customer, okay? They were all found in pools of blood because their throats were just slashed, It was just horrible, gruesome, It's like, what a person in the right mind, okay? Police said that there were other injuries, but they never reported it publicly for investigative purposes because only the killers would know. Yeah, everybody saw right. Everybody, only the murderer would know some of the details, so they didn't release all the details. Police did say, though, that none of the women were sexually assaulted. So, you got a triple murder, small town Montana, How many people are in Florence, small town Montana? 900 maybe? Maybe 1,000? No, I don't think 1,000. I mean, I used to go out there and party at the Rustic Hut in Florence. Yeah, it's just a little stop in the road, gas station, bar, yeah. Anyways, so sexual assault wasn't the motive, okay? Neither was robbery, okay? No money was missing. No property of the persons weren't rifled through or anything like that. The only things that were missing that they could put a real finger on it was a couple of styling capes. Is that the thing they drape over you so you won't get everything over your clothes? Okay. So, okay, we're going to fast forward now. 2005. A primary suspect, okay, was announced in Ravalli County. And that was Brian Walter Weber. He was 25, 26 at the time, mid-20s. Brian Weber was a small-time drug dealer, kind of muscle guy. He lived in Nampa. That's Nampa, Idaho? He was living there, but at the time of the murders that happened, Weber was reportedly in Missoula and was supposedly in Florence visiting with his girlfriend around the 6th. How far is Florence from Missoula? Good question. Florence from Missoula is 19, 20 miles. Yeah, not far. Okay, just boom. You're there, like I said, we used to go out to the Rustic Hut. Boom, you're there in a second. Okay? Well, not a second, but 19, 20 miles. So, yeah, so if you're in Missoula, it's not a big stretch to say that you can pop out to Florence and back in no time, okay? Another suspect, Lincoln Benavides, 33, he was arrested in 2005, okay? Right, they were both arrested in 2005. Benavides, He's believed to have led a drug operation ring that promoted that, like, they were like a big drug ring. They had not a big ring, but a local ring, sold meth, Montana and Idaho from 1999 to 2001. 2001, that's when the murders happened in 2021. Now, Brian Weber, it was believed that, like I said, Weber was kind of muscle, so the cops kind of believed that Weber was the enforcement and the collector for Benavides. The drug ring, right. Yeah, so so you got the players that are arrested, but what in the tarnation would a meth ring have to do with some older ladies in a hair salon in Florence, Montana? Okay, Florence isn't even a depot or a drop-off spot. It's a dot in the road for 900 people pushing it. Missoula's 20 miles away, so what could it be? So arrested. Both guys are arrested. 2008, they went to trial in Missoula County for triple murder. Okay. Basically, in the end, they couldn't basically convict them. The jury came back with a hung jury. The jury came back, a hung jury, so they were both found not guilty in October of 2009. It's about a year later, 2 years later. Lincoln Benavides did take a plea bargain. He pleaded guilty because these guys are in jail, so, they got not guilty on the murder charges. One isn't enough to convict him. They still had Lincoln in jail, so he took a plea bargain, pleaded guilty to federal drug charges, and the triple murder charges were then dropped. Okay? January 2010, a motion to dismiss all charges was filed against the enforcer Weber, and he was set free. So they ended up dropping charges. After they dropped charges against Weber, the federal judge, is it Donald Malloy in Missoula? Yeah, he ordered that all the court documents in the criminal case be sealed. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he ordered them to be sealed. I was going to add something, but, it's like, why did you do that? What could be the reason? All the speculation for, nobody knows why, because he doesn't have to say why. Yeah. I mean, there's two reasons that he would order the court sealed. Weber did it. There's not enough evidence or preponderance of evidence to convict him, and releasing the court document, whatever, would cause prejudice. Or the second reason was judicial misconduct on the part of the investigation, there was rumors of both of those rumors. Yeah, both of them, Andy. Yeah. So, we had rumors of misconduct and rumors that Weber actually did it, but they couldn't convict. Since since the dropping of the charges of Weber, he's been in and out of jail. Been in prison. He's probably been on Crimestoppers on the back of the Great Falls Gazette. Yeah, it's been, Well, what the rationale was is this, okay? The records are sealed, all right? Okay, misconduct or Weber do it. But there's another, there's a rationale for the arrest, let's put it that way. I mean, they changed the town forever. I haven't been there since it happened. I haven't been to Florence in ages. But, it's 24 years ago? But what the records sealed could be also is that they arrested both guys in hopes that they could convince, they could talk into one of the defendants rolling on the other one, or giving up the other one. Yeah, Benavides and Weber, it's like, look, Weber said Benavides did it, and they lied to them, they put pressure. You all watch TV. We laugh about special victims and Law and Order every week, but you know how they work, good cop, bad cop, all like that. So, in the end, they didn't roll on each other, and that's that. So, it's not, what's the word I'm saying? It's still cold, it's still open. They have suspects, they don't have enough evidence. Hey, if you know anything about the triple homicide in Florence, Montana, 2001, call the authorities, let them know. Somebody else knows, okay? Somebody, I think. Andy, don't you think? All right, and another Montana murder true crime mystery. Are we out of here? We are out of here. All right. Before we go, remember, spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Foster, rescue, volunteer, and hey. Adopt a shelter pet today. Until next Monday, we are out of here.